All right, Chris Bosh, how long do you think it'll take for LeBron and AD to gel?
It won't take long.
Yeah.
Look, this is a good problem to have. And one of the things that, we always try to do after playing a game, look, this is their first time playing together in a very intense situation.
Yes.
We were saying the last segment, Kawhi and Paul, they're more of a plug-in situation. They've had a sort of nucleus with the Clippers, the same coach, the same staff. This is a brand new situation. They're going to look at film today, and they're going to see everything that they did wrong. And as they build the chemistry, like AD was saying, they're both aggressive. In being aggressive, you see what you can create. You're going to see where your spacing is. You're going to get used to the system, and then that's where chemistry comes in. They continue to have those conversations, and they'll get better and better as the season goes on.
Yeah, I think you're the perfect person to comment on making adjustments playing with LeBron compared to some of the other players, because AD's coming from a similar situation as you. When you were in Toronto, he's there in New Orleans, and then now you're with potentially one of the greatest players ever, and the circus starts. How long did it take you that after the game, it's the first game, that even your comments now, the interviews, the intensity to the interviews, everything is so different. AD and you were both in the same. How long does it take him to adjust to that?
It's going to take at least half a season. Now, for me, it took about half a season. When we got to the All-Star break, I felt a little more comfortable being uncomfortable. I felt comfortable knowing where I fit into the offensive system, which is still a difficult thing. And I think for AD, he's going to just have to figure out where he's going to have his pace with the media, with everything it brings, with the Clippers being across town and being asked about that every day. He's just going to have to deal with it and, just trust the process. I mean, it's basketball at the end of the day, and he's pretty good at it. So if he continues to play, work hard, get into the system, he'll be fine.
Is there an element of that, though, that no matter when he thinks he's adjusted, he's not really going to feel the weight of until the postseason comes? Because when he's been in the playoffs in New Orleans, they've been an underdog every time. Like, people say, oh, he's a 5-8 postseason record. I'd love for people to point out, what's the series Anthony Davis should, which time should he have beaten the Warriors with the New Orleans Pelicans? Like, so it's an unfair criticism, but now it's different. And so that is also similar to you in Toronto, where you were the star player, the best player, and if you guys didn't succeed in the postseason, it was not your fault. And, I mean, I know you took accountability, but then you get to the Heatles, and the expectations are a championship. Is there an element that he won't be prepared for that until he's in it?
Yeah, you're not comfortable until it's over, until you actually win. That's one of those situations. I don't think he's ever going to be comfortable until it's over. I mean, you get, those kind of stretches where you feel good. You get those stretches that are bad stretches. It's always just going to be an up and down situation. And, he's going to thrive at the 5 position. Especially late game situations. I know he doesn't want to do that. I didn't want to do it either.
Oh, I know. I was going to get you on that one.
I didn't want to do it either, and I understand. But looking back at it, and then even into buying into it back then, it really helped out the team. I just think he has to find his spots when he's at the 5 because he's going to be dangerous when he's at it.
Can you elaborate on that? Why didn't you want to do it?
Well, I mean, he said it as well. It's a more physical position. I don't care how many threes are in the game. It's still a more physical position. You're not as spaced as you want to be. I understand exactly where he's coming from. He probably wants to shoot 4 or 5 threes a game. He wants that trail position as a big. If you're the 5, you got to get down low, set screens, get guys open, and be kind of that secondary situation
Release
guy.
valve.
You know what I mean? At the 4, he can go more one-on-one, catch it at the perimeter, not get hit as much. It's a better, I guess you see it as a better situation, but I think that team, when he finishes at the 5 because they have Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. They have rim protection and length.
Yes.
When he finishes there, I think they can switch everything and use their length to be great defenders.
Chris, all offseason when we were trying to figure out and sort of guess who was going to end up with LeBron, and while we were discussing free agency, there was this narrative that, well, does anyone really want to play with LeBron? Is it fun to play with LeBron? What comes with just playing with LeBron off the court?
Yeah.
As someone who did, give us some insight of stuff we don't hear about or we don't talk about. Anything from walking to your car or going to a grocery store, or just tell us some of the color that's involved with playing with LeBron that maybe Anthony Davis wouldn't have known, having just known him.
Well, I think in this case it's kind of, you have to personify the Lakers organization as a superstar as well. So you have two global superstars creating this thing.
Right.
It's bigger than it is with LeBron in Cleveland or LeBron or us in Miami.
Yes.
A little bit different dynamic. AD is going into that as well. It's Hollywood. You've got a dozen, retired players looking down on you, their jerseys looking down on you every single night, along with the banners. It's a different vibe. It's one of the original organizations of the NBA. It's a rich history there. So, you're going to get the circus with the circus, and it's a brand new show. So he's just going to have to really, get used to everything that's coming, because they're going to get everybody's best every night. They haven't won a championship, but people are going to play them like they're the defending champions. And, I think as basketball players, that's what we want. You want to play in the big game. That's what we watched our heroes do. And you find out that it's not easy.
Yeah, let us know, because with the circus in L.A., and all those things are true, but they got tremendous expectations or pressure on Frank Vogel, who's the coach. The reason why? Lionel Hollins, former player, former head coach. Jason Kidd, former player, former head coach. I know there were some issues as far as Pat Riley, Spoelstra, and all you guys coming together. What did you guys do to make sure that Sproles felt empowered? Because I know there were some situations behind the scene that everyone wasn't totally bought in. There were some uncomfortable moments in those first 40 to 60 games.
Yeah.
But what did you guys do to make sure that the coach felt comfortable? Because in this league, players can make or break the coaches.
For sure. Well, I think for us, the first thing that we did, look, everybody is an A-type personality. Everybody wants to win. So you're naturally going to get tension. If there's no tension, you're not going to win. That's first and foremost. I think we can all agree on that one. At the same time, we had to understand that we have to play our role. You get a role, you play it, you do it to the best of your ability. If there's disagreements, you talk about it. You get things out open in the air, and when it's time, you talk about it. We don't let things linger. We address them and move on. And at the end of the day, Spo is the coach. At the end of the day, they have a great staff. Vogel is the leader. And, that's where it lies at the end of the day. So it's going to be his decisions, and they have to allow him, which I'm sure they are, but they have to continue to allow him to be the coach.
To follow up on that, there were early in that first year with the Heat, there was the media speculation, man, Pat Riley's going to take over. Pat Riley's here, this old video coordinator. People before knew Spo is a great coach.
Yes.
He about to take this
That's
job.
what they called him.
Right, absolutely. This old video guy, come on, Pat Riley's going to take this job. And there's speculation with the Lakers that, hey, man, Jason Kidd didn't take that assistant job to be the assistant. I'm asking you to comment on that part of it. But as the players, how much of that do you hear, and how distracting was that for you with, wait, who is our coach going to be at the end of the season or next season?
Well, it's a day-to-day process. And, yes, you do hear it, because sometimes that's people's job to inquire every day in the locker room. But at the same time, that doesn't mean you feed into it. You keep the same structure, and you fix it in-house. I think now that's greatly the challenge in modern sports, is keeping things in-house. I'm a huge believer in that. You address problems together before it gets out, if that's the case. And if you have something to say, you say it to that person. Don't go on social media first. Keep everything the way it is. We understood what was going to happen. When the stars align like it is in L.A. right now, you're going to get all the attention. You're going to get a lot of questions that might not even make any sense. But at the end of the day, it's about winning basketball games, and that's what they're going to focus on.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.